this video, let us discuss about forward and backward propagation. So I have taken a data set. Here I have given values for x and y. So x values are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and y values are 0, 4, 8, 12, 16. What do you infer from this data? So if I ask you to find out the relationship between x and y, will you be able to make it? I'll give you 10 seconds time. Can you please find out that? Yes. So what is the relationship between the two? Yes, you are right. So immediately we can say that y is equal to 4x. Yes. But just imagine that the machine do not know the relationship between x and y. When there are multiple features, it is going to be a tedious task. Okay. So now what will happen? Randomly, the machine may choose y is equal to 2x. Okay, just an example. Okay, so as an example, what I'm trying to say here is the machine is first randomly taking the relationship as y is equal to 2x. So what is 2 here? 2 is the weight over here. Okay. So what is this x? These are the values of x. Clear? Okay. So now the x values are written. The actual y. Now predicted y. So how to predict this value of y? Y is equal to 2x. Right? So 2 into 0, 0. 2 into 1, 2. 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 3, 6. 2 into 4, 8. So now let us try to find out the squared error. So we know that how to find out the error in regression, right? So the predicted y is calculated, and now we are trying to get the squared error, which is nothing but y minus y hat the whole square, right? So 0 minus 0 the whole square, which is 0. 4 minus 2 the whole square, that is 2 square, which is equal to 4. 8 minus 4 is equal to 4. 4 square, that is 16. 12 minus 6 is 6 square, that is 36. 16 minus 8 is 8 the whole square, that is 64. So when you add it, the total error is equal to 120, right? So now how are we going to proceed with this, right? Now let me explain that here x value, actual y, and weight is equal to 2. This is the squared error we got, right? Now the next thing what may happen is two things will happen. Like the one thing, like the weight is increased by certain value. It is increased by 0.0001. So weight is 2.0001, right? So now let us understand this is the actual x, this is the x. So 2.0001 into 0, that is 0. 2.0001 into 1 is this, into 2, into 3, into 4, right? Now we are trying to find out the squared error. What is meant by squared error here again? So actual y minus this one, right? So 4 minus 2.0001 the whole square, that gives you 3.99, and 8 minus 4.0002 the whole square will give you 15.99, and so on. So now the error is, now the squared error or the loss is equal to 119.988. Now the weight is reduced. Now the weight is reduced from 2 and now 1.9999, right? Now the predicted value of y is being calculated, right? So again, now 1.9999 into 0 into 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. What is the next step? Yes, you're right. So we have to find out the squared error now. Now the squared error is being calculated. Now the squared error is being calculated, and the total is 120.012. It is very simple. When the weight was 2, the squared error is 120. When the weight is increased, the error is decreased. When the weight is reduced, the error is increasing. So what is the right idea now? The weight has to be increased to reduce the loss. So now let us look into this diagram, right? So here weight is taken in the x-axis and losses in the y-axis. So we have started with weight equal to 2 and the loss was actually 120, right? So when the weight was increased, we could figure out that the loss was getting reduced. Now, you already found out that the right relationship between x and y in this example is y is equal to 4x. That is why here you can see that there is no loss. When you calculate y is equal to 4x, there is no loss. So here actually this part represents negative slope. Negative slope. When there is a negative slope, the weight is getting, the weight is, like when there is a negative slope, what is happening? Like the weight is getting increased, right? So the weight is getting increased, and here you can say that it is a positive slope, right? Positive slope, right? So the process by which we calculate the derivatives needed in the calculation of weights is called back propagation. So let us understand what this is, right? Okay. So in back propagation, what happened? We initialized with weight is equal to 2. We got some loss value, and then we were trying with several weights. So we were working backward, right? So we were just adjusting the weights, and based upon that, we are calculating the loss, right? So what is feed-forward neural network? It is an artificial neural network in which connection between the nodes do not form a cycle. In this network, the information moves in only one direction, from the input nodes through the hidden node and to the output nodes. So here it moves forward and it does not form a cycle. Inputs are fed by a series of weights, which is then computed by hidden layers. The hidden layer's job is to transform the inputs into something that the output layer can use. So hidden layers use activation function to map the resulting values in 0 or 1. So this is what we have seen in forward propagation. You can see input, predicted output, and then the derivative, right? And then the derivative, right? So let us understand that. So actually what we have done, we have not updated the weights fully, but only by a fraction. See, we were increasing by 0.0001, right? So this is how we work on this. So input is passed, and then we will be getting the output, and then the loss is being calculated, and then loss in the sense like we are finding out the derivative, and then we are adjusting the weight. This is how the process continues, right? So this is basically a forward propagation, and this is backward propagation, right? Now look at this diagram. What do you understand from this? So here you can see that there are 4 inputs or nodes in the input layer and 2 nodes in the hidden layer and 1 node in the output layer. So these lines indicate the connection each node has with the node in the layer, next layer. So the connections are through the weights involved, so which can be learned via forward and backward propagation. So let us understand this. Say, okay, so let it be this W1. So this is W1 and let this be W2, right? Right, this one is actually W2, right? So now if I try to find out the relation, what can I write now? H1 is equal to W1x1 plus W1x2 plus W3x1, sorry, W1x3, right? So W1x3 plus W1 X4. So let me show you how this part is working. Like W1 X1. So I'm writing for H1, right? So if you see again, you can see that like W1 X2. So that is also fed to hidden layer 1, right? So W1 X3, W1 X4. Similarly, I can write for H2 also. So when I write for hidden layer 2, so can you tell along with me? So I can write that X1 into W2, right? Plus X2 into W2, yes, plus X3 into W2 plus X4 into W2. Hope it is clear to you, right? So what is this W? W is nothing but the weights that connect input layer to hidden layer. So we have a set of weights from hidden layer to the output layer, right? Okay. So here, in case we are tasked to classify items such as digits from 0 to 9, right? So in that case, we will be having 10 nodes. Each digit is represented by one node in the output layer instead of one, right? So hope it is clear to you, right? So the same points are given over here. So this is the visual representation of forward and backward propagation. So there is input layer and you can see one hidden layer over there. See, there could be any number of hidden layers, so that can be decided by us, right? And so what is happening? So here the inputs are passed to the hidden layer and then we are getting the output, right? So that is forward propagation. Then the error is being estimated and based upon that we are adjusting the weights, right? We are making some changes over there, right? So that is backward propagation. So this is just an overview of forward and backward propagation. Hope it is clear to you. Thank you.